Okay, can you hear me?
Mhm.
Okay, great. Brian, you guys had some close calls during the regular season, including the LSU game, Auburn, Florida. What has made you guys, which have been dominant in the postseason, these two games? What has been the difference? Why have y'all been so much better in these last two games than you were maybe in some games in the regular season?
Well, I think some of those close calls we had during the season, just helped us, play to the final second of the game and, just had to battle with a team all the way to the end of the game. And, with those experience, just going to other games, we have experience, just playing until the last second. So we know we're comfortable with, coming from behind, playing from behind 7 to 10 points and also just playing a full game and getting a team's best out of them for 60 minutes. So that's kind of helped us go into bigger games and kind of expect teams to play us for a whole 60 minutes and we just had to prepare to have to play full games and we'll get every team's best for the full game.
Okay, our next question will come from Ryan Hennessy. Ryan, go ahead.
Hey, Brian, thanks for your time. Obviously, the lights are really bright for the biggest game of the year right now, but I feel like it's a little bit brighter for you after the game that you had in the semifinals. Do you embrace that pressure after the monster game you have, especially with a defense like this, and kind of say, bring it on to Georgia's defense?
Don't really embrace the pressure, only because, it's not like it's nothing I've not seen before. I've seen his team. I've seen his defense before. Also with these lights shining bright, I also been under these lights before, multiple times. So, I have experience, playing, games like this under these lights and against teams like Georgia. And, with me already, seeing Georgia playing them one time this season, I kind of know what to expect from them. I know what kind of personnel to expect from them. So it's not, any more pressure than how it was when I played them in the SEC championship game.
Next question will come from Andrea Adelson. Go ahead, Andrea.
Hi, Brian. Thanks for doing this. As one of the handful of players who experienced the national championship game against Georgia a few years back, just wondering what you remember most about that game, aside from 2nd and 26, and whether that experience has helped lead to this moment in terms of knowing the possibilities of what you guys can accomplish.
Well, really, the experience with that game just helped me just understand just, the competition level with, just Alabama and Georgia football. And if you put, Alabama and Georgia football on this big stage, national championship game, usually that's what it'll come down to. It'll come down to two teams, brawling, fighting to the end. And, just with that game, we had to make several adjustments on both sides of the ball, on the offense side of the ball and the defense side of the ball. I think I remember during that game, Najee got a chance to step up and play a big role with some carries in the game as a freshman. And Tua got a chance to come in the second half and lead the team, to a win. So, everything wasn't going perfect for us that day. We still had to make some adjustments on the offense side of the ball and defense side. And, just being a team, just preparing, for the opportunity, when it came, a lot of guys stepped up when their numbers were called. Tua, threw the ball to Smitty, to end the game on 2nd and 26. And both of those guys were freshmen who probably didn't play that much that year or, made as many plays that year as they might have wanted to. But those guys won the championship game for us.
Next question will come from Bill Bender. Go ahead, Bill.
Yeah, Brian, there's always questions asked this time of year about how long Alabama's kind of hold over the sport will last. I mean, What is the common thing you've seen year to year from the inside that has made this program so successful?
The main thing I've seen from the inside just over the years is, it don't matter who walks into this building or, for whatever role, whatever coaching role or whatever player that walks into that building, is the same type of mindset. Everybody comes in there and just grinds day in and day out. Coaches come and go. You got players going out to the draft every year, and you got guys who step up every year and play a significant role for this team, probably a much bigger role than they played the year before. But it's one of those places where you're going to get better with the people around you and the coaching staff. Everybody push each other to get better every year, so that we can have the opportunity to play for back-to-back SEC championships and go to the playoffs back-to-back years, because we prepare the same way, if not harder, every year.
Our next question will come from Nick Kelly. Go ahead, Nick.
Hey, B-Rob, coach's jacket that he wore on the plane yesterday, had you guys seen him wear that before? And if that was the first time, how did the team react when you guys saw that?
That was probably my first time seeing Coach wear that jacket. But, we was coming up here to Indianapolis. We knew it was going to be real cold outside. He told us to grab a coat. And, we reacted to it. I mean, that was the coat he grabbed, to keep himself warm for our time being down here.
Our next question will come from Rocco DeSangro. Go ahead, Rocco.
Hey, Brian, you've been in Tuscaloosa for a long, long time, specifically at Alabama. Have you had a chance to look back and reflect at your journey over the years, from a reserve running back to now starting on college football's biggest stage? And what is some advice that Coach Saban or maybe someone else has given you over the years that has really stuck with you throughout this whole process?
Well, just reflecting on my time here, it's been 4 or 5 years. And, just for all the progress that I've made over the years, just really just having Coach Saban just always be there to motivate me, when things weren't always going my way, just constantly repeating, just be where your feet are and, trust the process. And, it's something that can go through one ear and go out the other when you hear it so much, when somebody says, repeat those lines so much, but it's something that's so important. It's something that most people should pick up on, because it can help you, in situations where, you got to trust the situation that you're in, trust the process that'll lead you to, where you want to go.
Our next question will come from Charlie Potter. Go ahead, Charlie.
Yeah, hey, Brian. You've mentioned how this is your fourth national championship game appearance. Just for some of the young guys that are going to be playing in this or on the sideline for this the first time, what's your advice to them getting ready for Monday's game?
I mean, my advice to some of the young guys playing, this is the biggest game of their career, yet, and I don't want those guys to not be prepared for it. I want those guys to be as prepared as they possibly can for it, because, it's a big stage, two great teams playing against each other where, you don't want to be that one player on that team who lets the team down because you weren't prepared enough, or you make mental errors or mistakes on the field that affects your side of the ball. So, my biggest advice to those guys is to, prepare as hard as they possibly can, so that they, they'll be ready for, that opportunity to start or play a lot as a young guy.
Our next question will come from Mike Griffith. Go ahead, Mike.
Hey, Brian, congratulations on a great season. Really appreciate the genuine quality of your answers. Really good interview. You have played with a lot of different great players at Alabama, different quarterbacks. So kind of a two-parter here. One, how would you describe Bryce's mobility as being different than Tua and Jalen? And two, Was there a moment when Bryce kind of won you over? A lot of times these guys come in highly ranked, but obviously they have to earn their respect behind closed doors and on the field. So those are my two questions, just comparing his mobility to Tua and Jalen and kind of your Bryce Young moment.
Bryce's, mobility is just different, because obviously, he's a lot smaller than the other guys. And so he can cover himself up real well. He can move around the pocket. He can move out of the pocket. He has speed. He has a powerful arm. He pretty much can do everything, any other quarterback can do, But the thing that just separates him is his fact to duck and avoid and shed tacklers because his size and ability to, scramble and, get out of the pocket. And, just with Bryce, this whole year, he's earned respect from not just me, but, everybody on University of Alabama football team just by, everything like just stepping up into his role and, and handling his business like as a professional. And, he's just done that on a high level all year, and beside me, a guy who's a fifth-year senior who's been here around a lot of great players, seeing that from somebody who's, a lot younger than me, just kind of helped me. I kind of saw him on the level of the older guys, and it made me feel good because he felt like, that he was mature and he was ready for his opportunity. He prepared himself for it, and, he left no doubt, every time he went out on the field.
Okay, our next question will come from Jeff Spiegel. Go ahead, Jeff.
Brian, speaking of things that, that Bryce can do everything, the last couple of games where he's made those pitches to you, is that something you guys worked on as far back as off-season workouts, or did the first time that happened in a game or in a practice, did that take you by surprise? And that's just not something you see every Saturday on the football field.
Really, this come from, our quarterback, running back chemistry, just the chemistry we've built, just playing beside each other all year, and, that also comes from me just kind of being in the right place at the right time, and it's just playing football, being instinctive with the ball. When I notice he is in trouble, I try to, make myself present to where we can, kind of make a play to fix the situation we're in. And, he has his eyes open. He scans the field, well. So if he ever gets in trouble and I'm anywhere near him, he'll try to find a way to just get me a ball to just gain some positive yardage, out of, what have been a negative yard play. And, there's just been just playing instinctive football, just, us just out there just playing, just when everything don't go your way, we just sometimes you got to find a way to just, fix the situation. So that's kind of where that comes from.
We have time for one final question. We'll go to Melinda Adams. Melinda. All right, Melinda, go ahead and unmute your line if you have a question. All right, we will go to Haley Sutton for the final question. Haley, go ahead.
Hey, Brian, with this being your senior year, capping it off with another national championship appearance, I guess what's your mentality been like going into this final game for you in your career?
My mentality is just, I want to lay it all on the line for my team, for my school. With this being my last time suiting up for Alabama, I just want to leave no doubt that, this university is like truly like in my heart, and I love it, and I'll do anything to just see us come out on top. One more last time before I have to leave.
Brian, thank you for your time.